Hey guys, I have such a big surprise for you. Check out what I got for $900. All right, so we finally got the truck unloaded, and I actually waited till the next day because it got dark. So let me go show you all the parts I got. I tried to organize them as best as possible in terms of like interior, engine, trim, and all that goodie. So I guess we'll start over here. Dashboard, perfect shape. Anyone who knows about Datsuns knows that they suffer from serious dashboard cracking. And this one is in completely mint condition. Never restored, just no cracks. And the front is really dirty, but it is in really great shape. Rear bumper, steering column. The steering wheel is actually in great shape, and they're worth a decent printing. So I'm gonna start putting together on this side, maybe I'll have to do this side too, of the prices of all these parts and try to see kind of what I got, starting with the dashboard, steering wheel, rear bumper. We then have a steering rack, steering column, R180 differential. I don't know the ratio of it. I haven't opened it up yet. Mustache bar, subframe, sway bar, emergency brake cable, 2 rear strut housings with lower control arms and half shafts. The other half shaft is over there. 2 front lower control arms, brake calipers, front strut housings, and a rotor dust cover. Another manual transmission, a master cylinder and brake booster, L24 cylinder head, L24 block, and a set of carburetors, which mine are missing a bunch of pieces for, so it's really great that I got that. Intake housing, valve cover, stock alternator. That is a power steering pump for something else. He has some Chevy parts kind of mixed in here. Ooh, a 3-ton floor jack. Mine's one of those boys, which if anyone else has them knows that they're kind of crappy. They only go up like a foot, which really limits you on how tall you can get your car up in the air. So this one is actually Chevrolet, so that's not for the Datsun, and this is for something else, but it's in really clean shape. I gotta look some prices up for those. I'll put them here. 240 radio without a front cover, but there's a bunch of boxes of stuff over there and here, so I'm hoping there's the front face for it. We then have a Datsun 510 center console. It's actually brand new. It was in this box, which has some more kind of light fixtures and stuff. Manual pedal box, mirrors, blower motor, 240Z center console with a manual shift boot, fuse panel, a bunch of interior parts including sun visors that are in really great shape and other tan pieces. I'm going for the black interior, so I'm going to sell all these, but most of them are like crack free and in great shape. Rear light covers, taillights off what looks like a 944, but I'm not sure. A Weber carburetor for something else. I have no idea what it's for. I'm just going to get rid of it. A trunk support. Mine is completely rotted out and stuck, so I'm going to keep that. Windshield wiper motor arms. This goes on the center console for an automatic transmission, or maybe it's for the choke. Yeah, I think it's for the choke. We have 2 doors. Both of them are in perfect shape. They're just really dirty, but they are in really great shape. These aren't rust holes, these are for the mirror, but both of them are dent free. Another manual transmission, another R180 differential, and the mount for it. Another door. Oh, and I got a pedal box. I have another pedal box. Taillights. There's 3 taillights in here. All of them in really great shape. A clutch slave cylinder. And a bunch of other parts. I mean, this is just the beginning. A whole new radio. Old school radio, but still a radio. And yeah, I'm not going to go through the rest of these boxes just because there's so much. And I actually need to clean it all up because tomorrow it's going to rain. But yeah, this is what I got through so far. Oh, last thing, L16. So when I was picking up this stuff, the guy had an L16 block head and another head, and he didn't want them. He wanted to get rid of them. So I literally just pointed at them and I was like, what's that? And he was like, it's an L16, you can take it. I was like, okay, but it's in great shape, both of them. I think last but not least, there's just a bunch of trim in here. New like ignition coil, the horn for the steering wheel, another what looks to be a hood release camshaft, another one, I guess. Hoses, tons of hoses, which is great because I'm gonna need tons of hoses. And then all new fuel system stuff. Carburetors off of other things, other builds that he was doing. Electrical tape, switches. I mean, there's 3 of these boxes just full of different knickknacks. A bunch of gaskets, more bolts, but yeah, and some car ramps. He just had those sitting on the side of his house and he was like, oh, take them. I don't want them. I pretty much got everything cleaned and organized. We actually have 3 radios. None of them look to be the original 240Z radio, but they're all worth something. A bunch of light switches, one of them being brand new. These are all hard to come by, and they're all in pretty great shape. I actually don't think my Z came with any switches, so that's perfect for me. I cleaned up the visors just to show how absolutely disgusting they were. They cleaned up really nicely. I also cleaned up the door to show how nice the metal is. The doors will be repainted, but it'll be an easier starting point than the other ones I have. I put together an entire box of brand new parts that I found, including a full set of NGK spark plug wires, brand new U-joints, a ton of sway bar link bushings, oil filter. This is for, I think, a 510. This is the 240Z. Tons of seals, thermostats, different filters, and a lot of vacuum hoses. Headlight casings, hood latch cables, emergency brake lines, complete box of original and new gauges. There's a fuel gauge in pristine condition, a not so pristine, but still in great condition cloth. A blower motor, center console insert, 3 original headrests, a single Weber Redline carb for a Datsun 620, a bunch of interior parts like rear view mirror, window roll-ups, steering column cover, as well as the restored alternator. A whole bunch of parts for another alternator came, which is great because in my last video I broke my alternator. I snapped it right there. So I have actually all the parts to put a new one together. So I'm gonna get rid of that and rebuild this one. A whole box of marker rods. Just tons of them, and they're all in totally fine shape. This is also a whole front end wiring harness. Yeah, as you guys can see, there's a bunch of other parts. I don't need to list off everything, but I thought it was important to show you where I'm getting all these parts from and why this build is possible, because all these little parts add up to so much money. The story behind all these parts is that a Datsun enthusiast had a 240Z and he crashed it. This is about 16 years ago. So he parts it out, puts all the parts in his dad's garage. He then sadly passed away a few years later, and his dad was left with all the parts in his garage. Now his dad, a couple years after that, lost access to his garage. Like, the garage door got locked. There was no other way to get in the garage. Life throws you curveballs and you get busy, so he left it for about 10 years. One day he had a contractor come over to his house working on something else, and he offered to unlock the garage for him. He unlocked the garage, opened it up, and the dad saw all the parts. Now the dad wanted them gone, so he posted them all on Craigslist. Now the catch was the garage was actually infested with rats. There was rat poop on everything, and if anyone's dealt with rats before, they know that rat poop is poisonous, and it's really harmful for you to be breathing in the fumes from it all. I had to wear a mask and gloves, and I had to be really careful. It involved a lot of cleaning. He also had a bad back, and I had to load everything into the U-Haul by myself. I had to clean them while I was loading them because everything had rat poop on it. I actually found a rat carcass in one of the boxes. It's pretty gross. That is essentially why I got it for so cheap. So in the end of the day, I think it was totally worth it. I actually had a couple more boxes that I didn't open on camera that I opened up later, and they had more goodies in them, more electrical things, a lot of switches. So I totally think the lump sum price was worth it. I got a lot of parts that I needed anyway. As you guys saw in my previous videos, my Datsun is really weathered. It had sat in the sun for so long that all the plastic has turned to rock. And anytime you touch any of it, it just crumbles. So everything plastic related has to get replaced. And now I have pretty much everything besides new seals. That's the only thing I don't have plastic related is seals, which I'm going to order a kit for. Without finding all these parts, I'm not sure what I would have done because I didn't realize how bad this Datsun really was. I mean, the body's great, but everything has to get replaced. So I'm really grateful that I came across this guy, and this is gonna definitely benefit my build. So I think that's it for this video. My next video actually is going to be coming out really soon. I actually have the next couple already filmed and they're being edited now. So the next one should be out in maybe a week or two. So thank you guys again for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.